Hello and welcome to Dental Studies Simplified. I am Dr. Ankita Putecha and today's topic is Atridox. Atridox is doxycycline based local drug delivery system. It is controlled release subgingival drug delivery system. The main content of which there are three components. In the commercially available kit we have three components: syringe A, syringe B and a blunt cannula. Syringe A is a Atrigel system. This is a bioresorbable flowable polymer. This contains 36.7% of polyco-DL lactide, that is PLA, and 63.3% of N-methyl 2-pyrrolidone. Okay, so this is the composition of the Atrigel, that is syringe A. 450 milligrams of the gel. The gel composition is 36.7% of polyco-DL lactide and 63.3% of N-methyl 2-pyrrolidone. Bioresorbable and flowable. And syringe B is the main drug powder, that is doxycycline hyclate. (50 milligram equivalent to 42.5 milligram of doxycycline. So total 500 milligram. So commercially available product has 500 milligram of the system, that is gel system plus the doxycycline powder drug content. Clear? These two contents are mixed together so as to achieve a 500 milligram content, which is a pale yellow to yellow colored viscous liquid. Now, this 500 milligram content has 50 milligram of doxycycline. So, the ultimate concentration of doxycycline is 10%. This is the main composition of Atridox. Syringe A is Atrigel system, syringe B is the drug content, that is doxycycline hyclate 50 mg equivalent to doxycycline 42.5 mg. It comes with a blunt cannula that has to be attached to the syringe A after the two contents are mixed together thoroughly. Clear? Commercially available by Tolmar company. They provide Atridox as this 3-component pouch or tray. Pouch form or tray form. All the three products in a pouch form or tray form. If it is a pouch form, it is a box of 1, 2 or 6. If it is a tray form, it is a box of 2, 4 or 6. Okay. So this is the commercial availability of Atridox by Tolmar company. Next is mechanism of action. Again, doxycycline, that is a tetracycline category drug. So it is bacteriostatic and it acts via inhibition of protein synthesis. And talking about its pharmacokinetics, the in vitro analysis showed that Porphyromonas gingivalis and many other periopathogens, that is Fusobacterium nucleatum, are susceptible to doxycycline, and the concentration was less than or equal to 6 microgram per ml. And with Atridox, the concentration achieved in the saliva and GCF is much higher than this minimum inhibitory concentration. So Atridox is definitely beneficial in killing our target, that is periopathogens which are causative of periodontal diseases. So Atridox will be definitely beneficial. Coming to indications, the main indication is again as adjunct to SRP in periodontal diseases to attain clinical attachment levels and reduction of probing depths, and also sometimes reduce bleeding on probing, that is the symptoms. Contraindication again, the main and most common, known sensitivity to the drug, and the other contraindications general to all the tetracyclines, that is pregnant women because it crosses placenta, nursing mothers because it is passed through breast milk, and Pregnant women and children up to 8 years because the duration coincides with the tooth development, and tetracyclines causes permanent staining of teeth and enamel hypoplasia. So these categories should be avoided while choosing them for Atridox or any tetracycline drug placement. Atridox or any other tetracycline drug shouldn't be administered to these categories which are contraindicated. Coming to the main part of this topic, that is dosage and administration. The dosage, as we all know, it is 10% doxycycline. Again, the frequency of placing the drug is at least 3 months, because 3 months is the interval chosen for re-evaluation of the patient. So at 3 months or later, when the patient is re-evaluated and probing depths are still persistent, that is greater than 5 mm, then a second placement of Atridox should be considered, but not more than 6 months again, because the efficacy is not studied for more than 6 months. Clear? Now the administration is in two parts. First is the preparation of the cartridge system, and second part is placement of the drug. Remember, we have two cartridges, syringe A and syringe B. First, they both are connected via their openings, and the content of A is pushed inside the B, followed by pushing the contents in the B to A. This is one mixing cycle. Such 100 mixing cycles has to be performed at the rate of 1 cycle per second. This is how we get a uniform mixture of both the contents, giving us a pale yellow to yellow colored viscous liquid, which contains both the bioresorbable flowable polymer and the drug content. So something of this manner, syringe A and syringe B has to be connected, that is coupled, after which the content of A is pushed into the B, and then this content has to be pushed back in the A. This is one cycle. Such 100 mixing cycles has to be performed. Once the uniform mixture is achieved, then it is ready for use. Here, one more consideration is, if at all the mixture, the mixed mixture, the prepared mixture is not used up, then this mixed mixture in the form of the coupled syringe, this entire system as it is, can be stored at room temperature for maximum 3 days. Okay? Afterwards, that is within this 3 days, when it is ready for use, again additional 10 mixing cycles has to be performed so as to have a uniform mixture for placement in the pocket. 10 mixing cycles additional. Only if it is not used at a time and it is stored at room temperature for maximum 3 days. Within 3 days it has to be used up. So again, when it is taken up for next use, obviously within the same patient, because it is meant to be used in the same patient only. So when it is taken up for reuse in the same patient, then additional 10 mixing cycles has to be performed so as to achieve a uniformity in the mixture, that is our pale yellow to yellow viscous liquid. So this is the first part, preparation of the cartridge system. Now this cartridge is ready. We have finally achieved the entire mixture in syringe A. So now syringe A has the pale yellow to yellow viscous mixture. Now the thing is, the blunt cannula has to be attached to syringe A. Forget syringe B. Now the contents of syringe B is emptied into A. So now we have syringe A, and the blunt cannula that is provided in the commercial kit with this 2 gel based system has to be attached to syringe A. And this blunt cannula can be bent in a form that resembles a periodontal probe. Now comes the main part, that is administration. Again, no local anesthesia required, just isolation and preparation of the operative site, that is the pocket where this drug has to be inserted. Clear? The cannula is bent in a form that it resembles the periodontal probe, reach the base of the pocket, and then push the entire content of the syringe A, that is Atridox gel, into the pocket, such that the formulation reaches the top of the gingival margin, after which the withdrawal of the cannula tip has to be done. Once the cannula is withdrawn and the gel system is emptied into the pocket, then we have to place a periodontal dressing or a dental adhesive such as cyanoacrylate. And this has to be retained for the next 7 to 10 days. This completes the procedure, dosage and administration of Atridox. Clear till now? Talking about patient instructions, as with any local drug delivery administration or placement, avoid brushing for the first few days, flossing or interdental cleaning for 10 days so as to avoid any disturbance to the drug placed inside the pocket. Patient must not chew or avoid chewing from the treated side for a week or so. At least be gentle and cautious while eating from the treated side. Patient must be counseled about the post-operative pain and sensitivity, but if it is severe and unbearable, contact the dentist immediately. These are the patient instructions. Talking about the precautions, as with any tetracycline drug, usually associated with overgrowth of fungi, that is candidiasis. So, Atridox must be used with caution in patients with history of candidiasis or predisposition to develop candidiasis. If superinfections develop, treat it accordingly. And the last part, that is adverse reaction, the most common is toothache, that is pain and sensitivity, associated with post-operative, that is post-SRP, and the initial drug placement irritation. So that's all about Atridox. So this completes the topic Atridox. I hope the topic is clear to you all, and if you still have any doubts or any queries, feel free to ask me in the comment section below or mail me at dentalstudiessimplified@gmail.com. Thank you for watching and listening to me. Study well, have a good day, stay safe.